Hello and welcome to another Wednesday Waffle. What am I going to talk about this week? Well, I've got 3 tips. I've got some talk about our day trip, another sticker to show you, and I'm going to talk about getting out of jail free and how it applies to me. But first of all, my 3 tips. So what are these 3 tips? Well, one is remember your notes when you come out to do a Wednesday Waffle. 2, remember your sticker that you're going to talk about in the video. And 3, don't eat something hot and spicy before you start. Anyway, let's continue. First, with a new sticker. And there you go, from Camper Van Gaz. And we're going to pop that up on the sticker wall with all the others. And if you want to send us a sticker, or indeed you want one of our stickers, drop us an email with your address or a direct message, etc, etc. And that's how we'll go from there. So our day trip on Dilly Woods. Those on the Facebook group will have seen some of the photos already. And diary will be produced as normal, etc, etc. But, and there's a big but, no, there's no but at all. We had a great day. The weather wasn't so hot. We arrived, set up in sunshine and bright white fluffy clouds. Flew the drone, went for a walk, etc. All the normal things we would do, and they even got a drone flight in. And then the wind came up, we had a heavy shower, heavy shower, but none of the prolonged rain that was forecast, thankfully. That's a bit different today. We had a hot, dry day forecast for today, and I've got the door shut in here where I normally have it open because it's raining. The weather people are doing well, aren't they? But back to Arndilly. So we stayed out. It was the solstice, and we stayed out later than normal, had an evening meal, and didn't get home till about, well, it was the back of 9 anyway. Just in time to grab a cuppa and settle down for the evening. So, the main topic of talking is my get out of jail free card. Now this I'll come to, I promise. It might be a little bit of waffle, and I have said this has been in the Facebook book group and elsewhere recently. People have had a dig, shall we say, in the last couple of weeks about our day trips. All our day trips, whatever distance, have been carried out in accordance with the Scottish Government's guidelines. And I'm using that word guidelines. Right? What people don't seem to understand is that the regulations we have to do with COVID are of a special, no, they're not even a special set of rules. What they do, it's called an enabling act. They enable an act of Parliament, be it Westminster, be it Scotland, and that enabling act allows them to bring in statutory instruments. Now, the difference between an enabling act and an ordinary act is an ordinary act doesn't have statutory instruments, and any changes to it have to be produced in Parliament. The way an enabling act works, they produce statutory instruments as and when they feel they require them. But with those statutory instruments, they have to produce guidance. The Act doesn't change, the instruments do, and the guidance does. The statutory instruments do not get any governance or scrutiny from Parliament. They are just made up as they go along, for want of a better word. However, I digress. So, to be prosecuted under a statutory instrument from an enabling act, you do need a number of things. One, you need to be caught. No, you need to be breaking the instrument. One of the things about a statutory instrument is the guidance that must be issued. Now, the guidance is in the form of a published note. And it's in the main. And that is the guidance that the route map the Scottish Government have produced to go along with their things. However, it can be modified by the relevant minister, in this case the First Minister. And the First Minister modified things pretty much along with what the Westminster government was doing, but a week or so later, a week to 11 days later. So this is the interesting part. No, it's not. I'm only doing this because it's the thing that got me riled this week. The interesting part, if you like, the part is that prior to phase 1, while we were still in lockdown, the First Minister said it was okay to go out more than once and travel to do your daily exercise. Then came phase 1. In phase 1, the First Minister said, yes, we'd like you to stay local. We'd like you to stay local around about 5 miles. But if you want to go and visit relatives, as long as you don't have to use their toilet, you can travel as far as you like. Sorry, friends or family, not relatives. I'm paraphrasing here, I'm not directly quoting. However, and then along came phase 2. Now, this is where it gets a little complicated, because in phase 2, they've said about 5 miles. You can travel as far as you like to visit your relatives, friends, etc. And you can use their toilet as long as you wash your hands. And for goodness sake, you should be washing your hands anyway. But that's, again, I digress. So, we've got all this guidance, we've got a statutory instrument, an enabling act. That's nothing to do with the get out of jail free, but it does set the framework and the guidance. None of the trips we have taken have been out with the guidance. We've refrained from travelling too far. We've stayed within our local area, indeed within our county. So, what is my get out of jail free card? My get out of jail free card is you cannot be prosecuted, not because the courts are shut, but because you cannot be prosecuted for following medical advice. My medical advice is that it is essential for my mental health with my mental problems that I get out in nature of various sorts, be it trees, woodlands, beaches, mountains, sea, river, whatever. I have that advice from my therapist. And when it was given to start with, I didn't realise this. When it was given to start with, I thought it was just a throwaway remark, part of the thing. But she asked me last time how I was getting on with my trips out. And I said, well, I'd been following the guidance that the government, and we just started day trips. Oh boy, did I get wrong. Boy, oh boy. She said no, and advised me once again, out and about as much as possible. No. Thanks for watching this week's waffle. I've waffled on quite long enough, and here's some drone footage to take your mind off what I've been saying. Take care, be safe, and bye for now. for watching Desmond's Donders. We'll hope you'll join us again for more photos, waffle and me as we travel around Scotland. Bye for now.